world. Welcome to the Women of BSV. We are delighted today to meet our fellow Korppi's dear friend Cranker. Cranker is a longtime BSV investor, video producer, and his real name is Villa. Is that right?
Yeah,
Villa. And you're
yes,
from Finland?
yes, from southern
What?
Finland.
Well, we know you're a talented graphic designer and have designed many beautiful images and provocative images in the BSV space. So we are delighted to meet you today and welcome to the conversation.
Thank you, Rory. I'm honored to be at your show today and very happy to be here. And let's see how it goes.
Excellent. So, Craig, do you want to tell us how first you got into BSV, and then, I've got loads of questions to ask you about your video producing, etc. So let's go with that, and then, you also introduced Korppi to Twetch, so I'm really interested in that story as well.
Sure. Yeah. So I got into Bitcoin in about 2016. That time I first got interested in Bitcoin. I've heard before about Bitcoin, but unfortunately at that time I didn't invest any money in it. But in early 2017 I bought my first BTC, and I was really excited about the technology and all the instant feeless payments and the micropayments and how the whole technology will change the world for better, and will also get rid of the corruption at the government level possibly, and
how did you come across Bitcoin first? Was it did somebody introduce you to Bitcoin, or was it something like an internet search or something that you did?
Yeah, it was this investigative journalist in Washington DC called David Seaman. I was following him at that time. He was making stories about government corruption.
Him. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and also the Pizzagate stuff, what was popping out at the time. And he was a big promoter of Bitcoin, and he got me interested. And after that, it was one huge rabbit hole to go deep. And
very big rabbit hole. In 2016 as well, actually, the micropayments were working, because I remember using an app in 2016 where the micropayments were actually being utilized on BTC, and then all of a sudden it was like, I can't do this anymore. What the hell has gone on? And that's when I got really interested to actually kind of delve really deep and find out what was going on. So
yeah, it was really weird.
Full, didn't they? Sorry, I was going to say it slowed down because the blogs filled up, didn't they?
Yeah, it was weird time. Because at first it was all about these micropayments and these instant transfers, and slowly the narrative began to turn this digital gold stuff, and that it's not for people who makes money less than $2 per day. And I was really confused at that time when they started talking about this Lightning Network, and at first I was pretty excited about this Lightning Network until I found out that it will never work, of course.
Yeah, 18 months. Always 18 months.
Yeah, always 18 months away. And then I basically invested everything in BTC that I had that time, and in 2020, early 2020, my friend sent me a few videos about Craig Wright. I was saw videos about Craig before, and I was in this narrative that he was a scammer and believed that he just isn't a good man and stuff like that. And all the videos I saw about Craig was when he was thrown away from these conferences, and it was really weird. But my friend told me about BSV in 2020 and sent me a few links, and then I saw the video. I don't remember who made it, but it was How Blockstream Destroyed Bitcoin. It was titled. And after that, I realized that this Blockstream stuff isn't good for Bitcoin, and they're bringing it in whole wrong direction. And after that, I've been still educating myself about the real Bitcoin.
So did your interest as well then, did you see a use for it with video production?
Do you mean did I see
on
a use case?
The micropayment side of things? you know, like being able to sort of pay per view, but actually charging per second for clips and things. Was that because that's also, again, that's something that really caught my attention was, actually, you know, I can watch something and pay for it per second instead of actually having to pay 30 quid a month to be on a subscription. Do you know what I mean? And not, you know, watch
absolutely.
most stuff.
Absolutely. It's genius. Like, it pulls the rug off these Netflixes and HBOs and stuff like that. After when you pay for second you view, nobody wants to pay these subscriptions, like monthly subscriptions, because most of the Netflix is like really worthless. It's not really good production value. Like, it's only this, like, I don't know what's the word in English, but like filled. It's like täytettä. Yeah, it's like
translate.
Filling.
Yeah, it's like filling. Like, they're just trying to make.
Yeah.
There's only maybe couple of good series, but the rest of it is just like no value at all.
Oh, I get you. Like just filling space and filling.
Yeah, filling space, like
just mundane stuff that's not really interesting at all. It's just something to stare at and just.
It's like just waste of production to make these series that nobody wants to watch. Like BSV and micropayments per second, like, gets rid of this problem because you have to make good production that people want to see. So
I've actually got another question about this, because you've got a professional background and I've worked in professional TV as well, and obviously we understand how it kind of works on a professional scale. But like the YouTube, obviously we've got this channel, and there's lots and lots of people that have started their own channels with absolutely no background experience whatsoever. When I first came into this space, I was really kind of fascinated with how that kind of was so different from TV film production and what I'd learned and what I knew about the industry, and then coming in and seeing that people actually, you don't need all this expensive kit or anything. You can just do it with a phone, and you can get 1 million people following you because you're talking about interesting information. It blew my mind, because I was like, it was such a waste of money with a lot of things that happen in the film industry. Like, for example, a red camera can cost, like $250,000 for a camera. And it's like, well, you've got a boom operator, you've got your lighting operator, your grips, you know what I mean? All these different kind of people who are most of the time standing around doing nothing. And I will, because this is kind of very true of the industry.
It is.
But they are long hours. Like, if I was filming on a TV show, I'd have to be there at 5 o'clock in the morning. We might not finish till, it's usually a 10-hour day, and then overtime as well. So it's really vicious in that sense of very long hours. And we didn't used to have weekends off, but we have weekends off now, but it was very compacted. So you might do that for, say, 3 months, and then you wouldn't have any work on again. But how did YouTube strike you when you first came across it?
I probably made my first YouTube account in 2013 and uploaded my first videos at that time. Maybe it was even 2010, so I was pretty early there.
Yeah.
So first I was just, like, the content was like cat videos and really random stuff at the beginning.
Rough,
so
Rough
so I just like thought that it was a good place to like spend time to watch some videos if you are bored or something like that. But today it's totally different. Like, you can make a professional career in YouTube or other platforms also. And like you said, in this time I've been in this like doing commercials and stuff like that, the value of the price of the cameras have been going down very much, that you can make this professional like quality now with these smartphones. But when I started, we have to buy these cameras that cost like 30,000 euros. So you could only do like this basic SD stuff, and it was really cumbersome at that time.
And how did you get into that type of art? Was it something from childhood?
Yeah,
Were you fond of taking photos?
Yeah, my father was always buying these newest computers and softwares at this time. He was one of the first with Apple computers in this early 90s when they came to Finland first, and he had this very primitive 3D program that I started to play when I was like maybe 12 years old, and made my first animations at the time. Also, they were not too good, but anyway, I was really excited, and that path, I was just really interested. I started learning 3D Studio Max. I read the manuals at the time. The version was like 2.5. It's in the early 2000 or late 90s.
My screen just froze then for a sec, but I started learning 3D Studio Max on 2.5, and I think it was about 2001 or something. Yeah. And it was like, I'd never seen a piece of software so big. It was huge. There was so many different elements to it, but it was quite clunky. But yeah, I mean, like, what a great thing to start on. I mean, like, absolutely amazing. What were you modeling?
Actually, my father like hired me to do basic stuff, and it got out of hand. So I made my first TV commercial when I was 16 years old.
Wow.
My father like sold my skills to people he knew, and I did all kinds of stuff like these big industrial like log I don't know, they like cutting wood, like this industrial line. It was like 50 meters long, and it took months for me to do. But later I was really interested in this 3D stuff, and my father knew this one guy who owned a TV production company in Lahti, in town called Lahti, Finland, and they wanted me to go there as a like apprentice. And after that short period, I started to work there, and I was there for 11 years. And after that, I established my own company, and I'm doing nowadays as a freelancer. I work, do the same.
Wonderful.
What kind of things do you produce, Kranker? I mean, what kind of 3D images do you make?
For example, at the moment, I'm making this theme park animation for one of the biggest theme parks in Finland, and I've been doing it for like 1.5 months, and it's really stressful for me. But I'm almost finished with it.
And you're doing it alone? You've got no help?
Yeah, I'm doing the modeling and the composition alone, but my coworker is actually like the whole music. He's composing the music, and my other coworker is gonna make the final color corrections, but most of the work is for myself.
So theme park is a pretty heavy thing to try and replicate, isn't it?
It is, yeah, and the outcome should be like this little bit Disney type fantasy land, and the hardest part for me was to make the camera, like how the camera moves in the park, and I used Fiverr I ordered some of the 3D models from Fiverr because it's just too much work for me to do everything myself.
Yeah, definitely.
Is that Google Fiverr?
Fiverr, the place where you can hire people.
Oh, Fiverr.
Yeah,
Fiverr. Yes. Okay, cool. So you are freelance, and then you recruit other folks that are freelance.
Yeah.
Work with you. Wow. And is it successful? Are you able to have that be your day job?
Yeah, at the moment I've been doing like 3 days per week work for 5 years now. I just try to get enough money to get along, and I'd have maximum free time to make everything else outside of that. So, but I also have not 1-year-old boy at the moment and 6-year-old girl, so I'm pretty busy with everything else.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It sounds like then you are a creator pioneer because you're actually doing it. A lot of us, we like to try it, but we still have day jobs, like myself. So good for you. You are all in and you're making it happen.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying.
So what about the music side of things then? Because you told me earlier that you used to make electronic music. Is that something you've been doing from a kid as well? Is that like, I mean, like but I just have this feeling that everybody loves music, no matter who you are. You love music. So, what's your music story?
It's I'm just an amateur. Like I love trying to make music, but I make music with Fruity Loops 10, if you know the software, and it's like loops and drum loop, samples and loops, and I just love music. So I'm pretty amateur at making music, but I'm gonna, after I have free time after this theme park project, I'm gonna start making music again.
Cool.
You're gonna have to mint on Jamify.
Yeah, I have one mint there. That actually
Oh, you
is.
do?
So,
Yeah, I have one.
So Korppi has got a really beautiful voice.
Yeah.
It's for a certain style, though, I would say. So you need to definitely do something where you've got Korppi singing, because she's got such a lovely voice.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah, it is a good idea. It's going to happen.
Would be cool.
Yeah.
So tell us about Twetch then. How did you come across Twetch?
Yeah, actually, I don't remember exactly how I got into Twetch, but I think I saw the CoinGeek Josh Petty video where he was telling
good.
about Twetch, and
Was that the one in London where he got the picture of Mark Zuckerberg up?
yeah, that one, and I got really interested in, because I think the concept is great. That I hate Twitter ads and the censoring in Twitter. That it's like garbage fire at sometimes, and Twitch is like you can earn with your content. It's great, and I was really excited. And maybe just few days after I got into Twitch, I started talking to Korppi about Twitch, and I knew she's always really excited to try new things and always really like open-minded to everything. And she was the first I told about Twitch, and she was immediately interested.
She's like Queen of Twetch now.
Yeah, like.
Have you ever taken River then? Because she was president of Twetch for a while, wasn't she?
Oh,
River,
yeah.
the president of Twetch. River.
Oh, River, yeah. Yeah.
And Villa, how did you and Korppi meet?
We grew up in this small town in southern Finland, in Orimattila, and it's only like 13,000 people, small city, and everybody was in this same schools, and we have a lot of people in common. And Korppi was always very like funny girl to hang around with, and later we both moved to a different city, and there we hang around a few times and had a few drinks and fun. And then later Korppi moved to too far north, and we haven't seen since then. But we have been talking and sending messages, and we're always gonna be friends.
Yes.
That's
So what
beautiful.
other apps do you use on BSV as well as Twetch? Because I know obviously like Korppi is a queen of Twetch, definitely. And so do you I mean, like you're an artist as well. So do you like the NFT stuff that's going on at the moment and everything? Have you got involved in that? And what other apps are you using?
Yeah, so I have also account in Relica. I've been posting some history photos there. I actually have a history channel in Finnish language that I've been keeping since 2018. Like alternative history.
It's quite popular in Finnish in Finland.
Yeah, it's quite popular.
That sounds like up Diddy Street.
Wow.
Well, I would
How
really
can we follow
like
you there?
I would really like to learn more about because you're sort of Norse kind of history and Viking and northern history and mythology, and it's because I know a bit about South America and Egypt and China and everything, but I don't know a lot about the North at all. So it would be good. So is it got subtitles?
I have actually one video that I produced in English language. I hired a speaker from Fiverr who spoke the video, and I can link it for you.
Yeah, definitely do.
It's pretty good, I think. But
Tell
mostly
us an interesting story, like some Norse history that we wouldn't know.
Actually, my channel is not about North history. It's about
right.
like these anomalies in history, like these pyramids in Egypt and like the Peruvian stuff. And also lately, it's been about, if you have heard about Tartaria, like
Yeah, I've
Tartaria.
only just come across that actually as something
Yeah,
I
it's
need to delve
super
into.
interesting. Like it seems like the whole history is faked. The mainstream history is like faked, and the
Yeah,
real history hasn't been told for us. And
now
Case
I'm
closed up.
You piqued my interest here, Cranker. No, I've been listening the whole time. But yes, I'm totally. Ryan and I have been watching a lot about Tartaria.
yeah,
It's very interesting. There's
Explain to me, what is Tartaria? I have no
okay,
idea.
I can like shortly explain. It's like in this recent history, like in about 200 years ago or something like that, there was this reset that people just there must have been some kind of cataclysm or flood or something, and everything was destroyed, and people forgot what it was like before that and what was the real history. And it seems like some kind of controllers took the like narrative after that, and they have, I don't know what happened, but the Tartaria was like this huge, vast imperium. Like they covered almost like half of the world's population at one point. And the architecture is really interesting. It's all around the world. It can be found in like South America and like Indonesia and Asia and Japan.
Are we
Russia.
talking about all the pyramids?
No pyramids. Like it's like Roman style architecture. Like mainstream history tells that everything is Roman style, but it seems like it once has been this global civilization that had really much better knowledge of things that we have at the moment, and they had like these ways to build architecture that can like withstand earthquakes, and they can make this super hard concrete, like it's like 2700 era.
So this is what they say about we're a species with amnesia, which I always equate to being Graham Hancock saying that. But also this is also like the mass psychosis is that human beings somewhere along the line were literally some kind of totalitarian regime has come and just deleted history and rewritten it. And this is something interesting about South Africa. I know, at least with South Africa, because obviously white colonial pioneers came in and academics said what they thought had happened, which was completely incorrect to what had actually happened. And they didn't even bother asking locals or tribes or anything, because, you know, what the real history is. They just made up the history themselves.
Yeah,
so that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, it's because people are easily controlled if they don't know their true history. Like if you don't have any roots, and it seems like the society nowadays is trying to like destroy these roots that people have.
Yeah,
and it's really we have to do something about it.
Modern industrial revolution is exactly what has wiped all about that knowledge.
Yeah,
that's interesting. What's your channel?
It's called Eeppinen Historia. It's like epic history in Finnish.
Cool.
And I make the speaks myself, but I have the one video in English. It's about younger Dryas period. What about this? Graham Hancock always talks about that this great comet probably hit Earth in about 10,000 years ago, 10 to 11,000 years ago, and caused these great floods and stuff like that. But
I was just going to say, for people that are looking into it, there's a lady named Michelle Gibson on YouTube that has a lot of really good content about the Great Mud Flood and true history that's been uncovered in Tartaria and all that stuff on YouTube. So
is that the mud fossil university as well? Because that would have been that's, isn't it, the mud fossil university where they've got like literally fossils that are oh gosh, I can't think of where. I'm going to embarrass myself now. Michael Tellinger does it a lot.
Yeah, I know Michael Tellinger.
Yeah, so literally it's mud fossils of bones that people mistake for rock or stone, and they're not. They're actually bones of animals that have been captured in a giant mudslide, and then that's fortified and fossilized from there. Yeah, so.
Yeah, and also there's these giant trees that have been fossilized also, like it's obvious when you see the evidence, like there have been like a lot of them.
Do you mean like the big sort of flat, I don't know what you call them,
There's a famous
structures, this, like flattened off mountains almost.
Yeah,
maybe probably some of them too, but there's like these, they look like they've been burning, and after that they look like they have been underwater for a long period of time, and after that, like they just been exposed to sun for maybe hundreds of years or something like that. But you can still see like the wood years when it's broken. You can see that it has to be tree.
Do you think any of it would have, I mean, like a magnetic pole shift? Because this is when there were giant floods and things as well. But like, did you say 200 years ago or 2,000 years ago?
I have no idea what's the real date. I don't even know what the real date is at the moment. Do we even leave it 2020? But I've heard about these pole shifts too, but I don't have any exact information about them. There's so many theories about everything, so it's really interesting to dig into and try to find out.
This is why I brought up the other day on Kurt's live stream the Nag Hammadi text. I know people have their own preconceived notions about it, but like they literally are supposedly the oldest books that we have record of on the planet. They predate all Abrahamic religious texts, and they speak about the archons. So David Icke is someone that kind of like, brought that into the mainstream conversation, but he originally got that content that David Icke speaks about from John Lamb Lash, who's one of the only Gnostic scholars that is talking about true history of the earth from the most ancient records that we have that is not bought and paid for by the cabal. So it is extremely important information. If people would actually go look at what John Lamb Lash is saying about the Sophia myth, the myth of the goddess that is the consciousness of the earth, and how she's being attacked, that story could give some clues to why all of this stuff is happening. So it's, it doesn't have to challenge anyone's beliefs. Just the story of the earth and the planet that we live on from its most ancient myth. So I just go look at it and then take what's yours and leave the rest. But it does describe what and who is trying to take over the planet right now. Literally.
Which part of the world is that? Is it kind of based around as well? Is it like east or west, or is it some like a continent that is no longer? Like where is it from? Is it an American native text? Is it a
the Nag Hammadi? I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on it right now, but they were found around the same time as the Dead Sea Scrolls. I think in Egypt, and in sealed jars, alabaster jars. I mean, they have been proven to be the oldest record of books. They call them codices, the Nag Hammadi codices, and they're very fragmented records because they were like, there's a story behind the kid that found them was bringing them to the mother to burn for heat and to cook with because they needed to cook and they needed food. And so some of these books were actually burned by this family before they realized what they were burning. But yeah, the Nag Hammadi codices, and the only scholar that I have found that is not skewing the message for an agenda is John Lamb Lash. That's why I say all the clues in the world don't count if you don't know what crimes are being committed. And that is one of his most famous quotes. And the myth of Sophia describes the crimes and the takeover of our planet and our species in detail from our most ancient ancestors we have record of.
Wow, that's really interesting.
And it's being suppressed. So I mean, I'm not subscribing to any religion or trying to challenge any religion, but I looked into this myth and it makes so much sense. You know, that kind of information you take in and it just like gives you chills and you get goosebumps that there's some truth here. Keep digging, keep going. And he also, let me just tell you, if you guys know about the mandala effect, I'm sure you dabbled in that, Cranker, watching those mandala. Okay, so he has a channel that's been scrubbed from YouTube. I don't know how to find all the content just yet, but he had a channel called the Mandala Effect Decoded, and it was from the perspective of Sophia, the goddess, wisdom goddess of the earth, pinging her creation, talking to us, trying to wake us up. And John Lamb Lash has a video called Sophia's Correction that describes it. It's beautiful, beautiful story. But nemeta.org, nemeta.org, is literally blocked from Twitter and Facebook. If you go try to share that on Twitter or Facebook, it won't let you. So that tells me that there is some really important truth in that modern day mystery school that John Lamb Lash has created, which teaches people how to come into a state of tantra with the planet. So it's just beautiful stuff. I mean, the fact that it's so suppressed, anything that's suppressed right now is what I want to go and immerse myself in, because there's a reason they're trying to keep it from me.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I really have to look into that Lamb Lash. I haven't heard of him before.
Yeah, he has a book called Not in His Image that is really good. But
Cool.
so
I have to say, just I don't know anything much about what you're talking about because I'm just not. It's just not my rabbit hole, if you know what I mean.
yeah.
Yeah, me.
But I mean, it's so fascinating to hear about it. But I have always had this sort of feeling ever since seeing the Matrix film back in 2000. Like, oh yeah, I bet we've been around several times before. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and each time I suspect that we probably forget the previous,
Yes.
you know, generation that was on the planet. We probably forget all of that history and sort of build over it. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all.
Can we have a look at some of your stuff then, Franco? You want to share
Oh
some?
yeah, I'd like to
Yeah,
see
sure.
a video. Yeah,
Plug my
So, do
computer
you
in.
want to see the Red Pill video, the CSV
yeah,
Satoshi
that
video?
was.
Okay.
Yes,
I thought
let's
that was
see
really
it.
cool. But show us anything that you think is worth watching though, because that's just the one that I remember.
And I
Yeah,
wanted to ask Cranker about your productions and your history channel. Do you ever create graphic designs that you then put in the videos?
yeah, sometimes. Yeah, I make a lot of like use Photoshop and stuff like that when I make the videos, and and if I make some like text logos or anything, I always make them myself.
Right. And we
So
know
some.
that you've also collaborated with Korppi before. And how about other BSV people?
Yeah, I've been like collaborating with this counter grind dude who makes NFTs, this 3D animation. Probably you have seen them on Twetch or in Fabric Market or no, not Fabric Market, but the Money Button Market.
What was the project
He was
called?
he was in our chat box yesterday when KP Dad's interview aired.
Mm,
Counter
Okay.
Right.
yeah.
Counter
Yeah,
Yes.
counter grind. Yeah,
Oh,
I've been
okay,
like
got it.
messaging him for over a year. I think we have been doing
Oh,
some
that's
projects
cool.
together. Yeah, yeah,
Everything is coming together.
yeah.
I was just looking at John Lamb Lash, and he kind of, there's a photo of him, and he kind of looks a bit like Michael Palin,
I don't know who that is.
Monty Python.
Oh, Monty Python. Yeah,
Oh.
he does a bit. Yeah.
So does it? Can you see there? Okay, so let me see. Does that?
Is that Only Fools and Horses?
No,
Oh,
Monty Python.
okay.
Okay, now the sound is on.
Yeah, we can hear it now, albeit quietly.
I hear it too. Oh. Oh, mannequin piss.
That's a big red pill.
Yeah.
Whoa.
These are basically just like brain farts that I make.
One crack them all.
That's hilarious.
The meme god.
Whoa.
Scorched earth.
Oh.
Yeah. There's
And the dragon.
yeah.
Hey, that's brilliant, Craig. I love it. Tell us, what do you make of Craig being back on the scene on Twitter?
It's great. It's great to see him back, but let's see how long he stays. Like,
Well, yeah.
How long they let him stay.
yeah.
What inspired you to do the? I mean, is that a sun? Is that a like neutron star? Is that like what is it that's crashing into the planet? And where did that idea come from?
It was just like what crashes the planet is huge red pill.
Oh, is that what it is?
So the Earth is being red
okay.
pilled.
Right.
Yeah, like it's a huge red pill that stares where is Satoshi, and the whole we are all Satoshi narrative is gonna like burn. And
It's brilliant.
And it is really good with all the
yeah.
memes.
We
I
are the
just
new
like-
red pill dealers, guys. Cheers.
yeah.
Yeah, cheers. Definitely. Is there another one of those videos that'd be worth playing a minute of, or
Maybe not. I think they're
they're a bit involved? Not
maybe
quite
if,
as memeified as that one.
Can you
Yeah,
click
they-
through it? Just start and give us little clicks along the way.
You
of
can always
the
edit too. Like
But that video though, you did the 3D animation, you did the video production, and you did the music background for that as well. Then, yeah.
that for no, I didn't make a music for the background. It's some free music, but
Good epic
I'm-
music.
And
Really
have
nice,
you seen Satoshi Red Sox channel?
I think I have, but I haven't been lately. I think I have seen it maybe a year ago or something like that, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I Sam, I Future Sam, I Sam Future. I
Yes,
Future Sam.
that's the name.
Satoshi Red Sox. He's a musician as well. It's a musical family.
Did you ever see Lucas's old videos? Scatman, Mr. Scatman.
Oh,
He did some really good meme videos as well, but a few years ago, and then he started to get strikes on his channel, I think, for having used other people's stuff
see,
in there. So.
This is one of the things about these big, corporate companies like YouTube. You said you had your first channel deleted. That's all that work that you put in there. 3,000 people following you. I mean, this is like for an independent artist, that can be how you show what you can do to your clients. So they come along and they tempt you, and then they just completely annihilate you, and then that could actually have a real detrimental effect on your business. It's such a bad thing that they do.
Yeah, and there's like no competition for YouTube at the moment. So even if you like get your videos onto another platform, they're not gonna be as much views.
Yeah, I mean, what is it, 1.8 billion uploads a day or something?
Yeah, and it's really hard to like get the following back where it was. So I don't have I have like maybe 150 subscribers at the moment, but it doesn't matter. I make these videos out of love for the profession.
And how did you build it up to 30,000 before? Were there any tricks that you can pass on to us? Oh, 3,000, sorry.
Yeah,
Still pretty
3,000.
good though.
Yeah.
Anything in particular? Did you do collaborations, or was it just sort of?
No, I just made videos.
Effort.
I have all my videos, those videos in Rumble at the moment. They were like these pro-Trump videos and maybe more provocative meme videos. But a lot of people like them really much, and I get a lot of like fan mail. But one day YouTube just deleted my channel, and they give me a message that it was because cyberbullying, that I was cyberbullying somebody.
Right.
And,
Oh my
I
God.
couldn't like I made a complaint, but they didn't notify me, and they just deleted it, and it's over.
They are the ultimate
Well-
cyber bullies. That is
Yeah,
very
they are.
hypocritical.
Yeah,
And Truth Social is supposed to start this month.
yeah.
Is that Trump's new account or social
It's
media?
Yeah,
a social media platform.
Yeah, it's really
Truth
interesting to
Social?
see how it's gonna be, and will people go there? But
Mhm.
I'm not very excited about all these new platforms, Getter and what others there are.
Do you use Streamanity at all? Have you?
I have videos on Streamanity, but I think they have some problems with in Streamanity with these what videos are showing in the front page at the
Yeah.
moment.
The
seems
porn.
like-
I think it's.
Yeah.
Is it ASMR at the minute?
Yeah,
Is it? Yeah, I
I've-
saw Ray make a post. She shared a screenshot, and it was, from a distance, it looked like it was, pornography of some sort. And then when you click on the image and you look, it just looked so sad. It looked like these people that are just like,
Yeah.
just. And I just thought, oh, I feel so sad. It's kind of like art from a distance. You think, wow, what is that? And then you get up close and you go, oh, no.
yeah.
So,
No, it's a shame. It is a
wow.
But I think that there should definitely be a platform like built on BSV that really can compete with YouTube, that people can like really use. I hope that somebody's doing it at the moment.
Well, we are definitely making our own version of YouTube that you'll be able to run on your own URL. So we don't need any more YouTubes. You can do
Yeah,
your
that
own.
sounds.
And that is
It's
the solution.
it's awesome that you're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think it's
so
gonna
excited.
be
Just
big.
observing all these technical calls as it's all coming together. It's like, do you guys know so many people have the same sense of urgency and the same sense of awareness and worldview that we do? We're not alone in this, and they're all coming together now, completely skilled, capable people to create these solutions and get them deployed. And just like watching the networking that's happening and like hodgepodging all this different code together that people already have pieces of things working and ready to go. It's like Spirit is bringing it all together at this time in this place right now. So I'm just like, so yeah, we'll
Yeah.
definitely be hitting you up for some branding and stuff. I love your work, and Ruth is already like our lead designer with Lacey Counts, my other friend, and so we're going to be definitely doing some collaborations here soon with more people from the community. Just bringing in as many of you guys as we can
Yeah.
to create this vision together is really fun. So
Yeah, it's been great to see how the pace has been growing exponentially, like how many people are coming into BSV, and also like understanding how the world works, and waking up to this like totalitarian nightmare that is happening at the moment.
it is a nightmare. Yeah, we have to wake each other up. I mean, it has to be self-initiated or else it doesn't go anywhere within the person, but you can see it happening like really fast with people. I mean, it only takes a couple of run-ins with the censorship, blatant censorship, to kind of be like, wait, Google's censoring my search results when I look for pandemic. You know what I mean? Like the things that
Yeah,
wake you up these days
everything.
are not that it's everywhere. So we just have to support each other and not judge each other as we're going through our awakening because it's fucking messy.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
So
Yeah.
we have
yeah.
a
It's
huge
Certainly.
mess.
really complicated.
No mess, no message.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's and it's great to see that when you know that when people wake up, they're not going back to sleep. So basically, it's just a matter of time when this
It's a One
happens.
Direction, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah. Well, and we have to be able to have these. So, I mean, we're pushing for the YouTube type video sharing, Streamanity YouTube video sharing first. But after that, I'm like, we have to get some kind of clubhouse or broadcast feature together as soon as possible so that we have a place that we have the ability to monetize these conversations with each other too. So those features are, if I have anything to do with it, some of the ones that'll be coming as soon as possible after the
Fast,
video
yeah.
sharing so that we can have these conversations. StreamYard could shut this down any second. You know, I've had people get turned off on StreamYard even when they're talking about some of the really, really behind the curtain disclosure on their channels. So it's happening everywhere. And
yeah,
until we have everything under our own control where we can be our own saviors with agency in our own domain, we can't win the fight. So
yeah.
Yeah.
it's definitely a fight.
Do you go into the Twitter Spaces at all, Cranker?
Yeah,
Have you?
I use it almost every day. Watch something, but I mostly comment on the BSV stuff on English and the political stuff in Finnish.
Yeah.
But
And what's it been like in Finland lately, the last couple of years? Because I get the impression that the Nordic countries are a little bit more sane than most places.
yeah, but it's the mass psychosis is here also, and most of people are under the spell. And but at the moment there is this Helsinki convoy in Finland going on. It started yesterday, and there's thousands of people there. And
Yeah, as we speak, they're marching and honking, honk, honk.
It started
You said it was
yesterday
a
in England
sauna?
as well, I think, or in the UK.
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
I'm surprised, Rory, that it's not happening in America. You'd think that would be the prime place for this to happen, a big convoy. Do you
We
feel
have
like
to,
in America they don't feel the pressure of, the mandates and stuff?
yeah, that's the Illuminati card game.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
oh yeah.
yeah, I think that at least
I wanted to ask
can
you
say
guys about
no.
this.
Yeah.
So if
But
there's
I wanted to ask Cranker, what is the name of your Rumble channel?
It's Cranker.
Cranker.
Yeah.
Thank you.
is that the same on YouTube as well? Your YouTube channel?
Yeah, it's
So
Cranker 17 on
Okay, good.
YouTube.
Because that logo
Cranker
you've got is
17.
quite smart as well.
Yeah, I have the same logo. Yeah, I can link the channel on the chat. Just a second.
Thank you.
It's
Yeah,
there.
I'll be watching,
Yeah.
especially for the pro-Trump videos.
Yeah,
I'll be right back.
yeah.
Thank
It was-
you.
I wanted to tell you, Diddy, thank you for posting this too. This grand jury thing on the whole coronavirus stuff in the Women of BSV. This has been blowing my mind that this is happening. I'm so excited to hear this today. I don't know if you know about that, Cranker, but we can give you the link. This is like the People's Court bringing a group of international lawyers and a judge are conducting criminal investigation modeled after the United States grand jury proceedings in order to present to the public all available evidence of COVID-19 crimes against humanity to date against leaders, organizers, instigators, and accomplices who aided and abetted, actively participated in the formulation and execution of a common plan for a pandemic. So this investigation is of the people, by the people, and for the people. So you can be a part of the jury.
Yeah, I just heard Diddy told me before. Yeah, about that. It's really really cool. It's happening.
Yes,
I'm
it's happening.
I'm surprised that there's quite a few people, like not so many people know about it, but the more we tell people about it, the more hopefully we'll know about it. But yeah, the link is in the top of the private chat here, but I think it finished now.
Oh, it's in Finnish too.
Finnish.
Yeah. I think it's in every language. I mean, but has it? Is it finished? Oh no, is it still going on? Yeah, no, it's still
It's
proceeding.
still going on. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was listening to it for the hour before we started here, and I was just like,
yeah, I did.
yes. So
Just show this is your
YouTube channel for Cranker.
not very helpful letters. It's too many letters in that. Anyways, Cranker 17. Perhaps that's what I should have put in the banner.
So what do you see happening with BSV now? I mean, obviously, like, did you follow the court case with Craig and everything? And so where do you see BSV at the moment, and how are things going to improve for us all?
Yeah, I watched the court case every day, watched from Going Geek live streams, and I think at the beginning I thought that Craig should like move the coins and like get this thing out of the table. But now I think it's great, the progress that we built the apps first and bring people that way, because moving the coins wouldn't solve anything
No.
And at the moment I think like future looks really bright for BSV. Actually, me and my friend established a company last August, and we have a like company building a BSV app for us at the moment, and we should have the MVP ready in maybe April this year. It's already on the works.
So are you allowed to tell us any more about your
Not much, but I could tell that it's about affiliate marketing.
nice.
Yeah, and
That's
it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be pretty good.
That's exciting.
So we can follow your handle to have the updates. But on Twitch?
Yeah, actually, we have this handle Nordic Block. We handle in Twetch, but we haven't been like promoting it too much yet. But soon as we get something to show you, we're definitely gonna show you guys.
It sounds very
excellent.
It does.
Yeah,
It's
we
going
have
to
a
be
Finnish.
an English version as well.
Fighting.
presumably.
Yeah, the first MVP is gonna be in the Finnish market, and we're gonna launch after that pretty soon in English and other languages also. And
well, there's a few women of BSV that could probably help you translate if you need it.
absolutely. We just talked with Korppi yesterday in the phone, and she was promised to help us to like launch it, and it's. Let's see how it works out, but I seen the like wireframe of it just a couple of days ago, and it's starting to come up pretty good.
Cool.
And we had also like funding covered already, and everything
That's
looks
so cool.
really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well done. And
Yeah.
you say that you're a BSV investor. So what does that mean to you?
It means like that I like to put my money like something that I truly believe in, and that I really think that it's gonna have a great future, and it's something just I'm proud to invest my time and my money.
Yeah. Buy all the trunks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pardon?
Not
The frogs?
Yeah, I've been buying them too.
trunks.
Yeah.
It's twonks.
Twonks?
Twonks.
Twonks
Yeah.
are the NFTs that are related to Twitch and Rare Candy. So
Yeah. It's been helping to.
Oh, what
Is that
do
what
they
they're called?
look
Is that their collective name now? Twonks.
yeah, twonks.
Does that include like the Tendy and all the other stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So it's the
A
collective
bundle.
nature of the NFTs that are released on Twetch.
And this is not a financial advice,
Got you.
okay?
No, but it's funny though, Korppi, because in English, if you call somebody a twonk, it's usually kind of an insult. So, but yeah,
That's the funny part.
Twonk is a Charlie or an idiot.
Yeah.
yeah, you twonk.
like an umpty? So
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
very much.
It's a
Exactly.
great way to lead.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think NFTs are great on BSV. Like they're unusable on the other blockchains, like with Ethereum, it's
Yeah.
it's just too expensive and slow and unreliable, and the NFTs, the JPEG images are on some server on who knows where. It's like it's crazy how people pay so much money, but I think it's mostly like money laundering and drug trafficking and maybe human trafficking also. What's happening in the background when they sell these $1 million like Ethereum NFTs? It's just like a front for criminal activity, I think.
You said it, not me this time.
And it's giving NFTs a bad name, frankly. And that's something that's I'm finding annoying about it.
Yeah, but I think BSV can fix some of that also because you have the audit trail and it's so much cheaper to mint NFTs and
because
maybe some other.
Every NFT that you mint on BSV is actually on chain. It's all kept on the blockchain. And I don't know about you, but I don't know any other chain that has even attempted to do that. They all go and use some server somewhere, and I don't know of anybody that actually allows you to mint music on chain other than BSV. I mean, that's
right.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's really nice. I think.
So we're going to get
BSV.
Are we going to get some music and art? Have you already got NFTs yourself, Cranker? And are we going to get some music off you as well?
Yeah, I'm gonna release my future music on Jamify, and at the moment, Relay X is the only place you can mint those audio NFTs properly. But I think that Relay X, the interface should be a little better, and the user experience isn't the best it could be. But I think it will work out somehow in the future.
Can I just chime in? Sorry, can I just chime in something that's just interesting? It's not totally related to you, Cranker, I'm afraid. But I was listening to the Spaces chat last night, the scammer one, and just talking about Relay X, and Jack Moo was basically listening to the sort of boost pitch from Raphael Leverde and the what's it called now? Boost Co. We should know this because we only interviewed Daniel a couple weeks ago. Basically, Jack kind of nailed a really good use case for it, which was for people who were minting tokens for the first time, they hadn't got any kind of reputation, that they could attach some proof of work to their initial mint, and that would then basically sort the wheat from the chaff, because a lot of people are just stealing people's images off of Behance or wherever and minting them. But if you can actually sort of attach some proof of work to your first mint, you can sort of say, look, I'm serious, I'm actually wasting money in order to, because I know that I can make more money back in future to offset this loss.
Prove that it's an original piece of artwork or by the person. I mean, the way I
so a costly signal.
Yeah.
But the reason why it works so well is because if it weren't done with this method of actually paying the miners, then you could say, oh, they're just bribing Jack Blue to get to the top of the latest, mint list or page or whatever it is. But Jack, of course, is out of the loop of this transaction. He doesn't gain anything from it. So it's like a true good signal that this person is actually serious about what they're doing. I don't know. I thought it was just an interesting twist on the whole thing, because it's just started to make a lot more sense in my mind as to how that system could be used like immediately and in a good way to kind of prevent a bit of this sort of scamming associated with NFTs and the uncertainty of it.
Yeah.
Sorry, bit of a sidetrack, but I just thought that was really interesting.
Do you think that will stop plagiarism, though? Because that's one of the biggest issues, is people going to museums.
We can make it more costly.
How does that?
I mean, well, if it turns out you are a plagiarist and you are just stealing other people's artwork, that if you did attach some proof of work to it, you wouldn't ever be able to get that money back, because people would quickly discover that, and they wouldn't buy from you in future.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't understand why, as an artist, you are going to want to pay more money to prove that it's you, because you know yourself that you have done that work and you're not scamming.
Yeah, but this is to prove to other people who don't know you, who've never met you, who have no idea what your track record is.
That's beside the point. As an artist, this is the whole thing about Craig having to prove his Satoshi. Why should he? he is who he says he is.
Yeah, but
Not
the point is, though,
everybody
Diddy,
is scammer,
from the
so-
second transaction onwards, you maybe don't need to pay the proof of work. This is for new people who have got no reputation yet.
but
I
even
thought it was quite clever. I thought it was quite clever myself. We'll see if it works out or not. But
yeah.
I thought it was just like a viable application of the concept that would be quite easy to implement and also have some point to it. You know, maybe for Streamanity as well.
I'm struggling myself. I mean, other people might really get it, but I struggle myself to see.
Well, you
why.
know how, like, when was he, John McAfee was alive and he was being paid left, right, and centre to promote projects, ICOs and stuff. Yeah, and with a lot of the YouTubers and stuff, there's that feeling that you're watching them and you're thinking, you know, have you just been paid to talk about this, or do you really believe in it? Yeah. But like, if you can pay for this signal to create this sort of costly signal of honesty, that nobody actually got paid. Like, the person who's promoting you in their channel didn't get paid. We've got all the technical problems tonight, haven't we? Then, you know, from that point of view, it all starts to make sense because there's no gaming system. There's no paying somebody off for them to say nice things about you.
Okay, I get it in that respect. I don't
And
get
other
why
people
not.
can vote you up as well. So, like, if I know Cranker and I know he's a good guy and he does really great art,
Right,
I
okay.
can pay some proof of work when he does his first mint to say, no, this bloke's good. Pay attention.
Right, but
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't.
now
see-
I get it. Now
I
I
don't-
get it.
I don't understand why the artist would pay extra just to prove that you have actually put some original artwork up there. Take a video of you doing the art, take pictures of the stages of you doing the art or making the music.
That's an alternative method, but I think this is just a very easy to implement method. I mean, it's a totally voluntary, Diddy. Like, for you, for instance, if you minted on Relax, people know who you are, so there'd be no need for you to do it.
Well, only a few people know who I am. I mean, I'm still very small. How do
No,
you
everybody
feel about
knows
that?
who you are.
How do you
Maybe
feel about
you're a
that?
celebrity,
That's
honey.
something that you- yes,
I
you
think-
do.
I
I
think
don't. I don't get why I would need to prove I am who I am.
Okay, well, it's not for you, Diddy. It's not for you.
But what
Now,
do you think, Frank?
I
Take the words and
sorry,
leave
I
the-
want to ask. Sorry, Cranker. I thought I saw a shadow behind you, but now I realize it's a gaming chair.
Yeah, it's my
Oh,
chair.
Yes. So
He's not being
tell us,
crept up on by
what
a vampire in
games
the
do you
background.
play, and what are your favorite BSV games?
So I play with PC. I play Rocket League and XCOM and old strategy games like Master of Orion 2. It's from the 1994, but I still play it. I played it like maybe 100 times over, but I don't have so much time to play lately. But for BSV, I've tried Crypto Fights. I have an account there, but it's had so much downtime, so I haven't been playing it too much. And my daughter plays Durodogs. She has
Durodogs.
she has like 4 dogs, and every day she's making them play.
That's so
Aw.
cool.
Oh,
There's some women of BSV bling for her dogs.
Yeah. She has already.
The collar.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
has the eye things, and I think also the hat.
Oh, cool.
The cap.
yeah, I have the hat too.
Yeah. I had.
Well, she'll have Molly match before long, won't she? From Rachel and her group.
What?
Have you heard about that? Oh, Rachel, one of the women of BSV, has got a group of women actually who are all working on a project to produce something called Molly Match, which is cats and breeding them and creating babies. Have I got that
Oh.
right, guys?
Yes,
Cool.
yeah. Basically, you have the Genesis kind of the parents of the Genesis cats. And then
Is
they-
it like the Crypto Kitties? Wasn't the
But-
concept like
Yeah.
pretty much same? That they're
More
breeding-
involved, I think. Yeah.
Only
Yeah.
match.
Yeah, it's
We-
cool.
I'm already in the box.
We do have the video on the channel called about Molly Match, so people can go and watch it and find out what it's all about. On there.
Yeah.
Is it built on BSV?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
cool.
And I think your daughter would love it.
Yeah.
Yes, really
I
cute
should-
drawings. Really cute drawings.
Generative,
Yes.
generative art as well.
Yeah. Sounds good. I definitely have to show it to her.
So I am
So-
interested. Sorry, what you think about this
No.
proof of work concept, though, Cranker? How do you see that?
I don't. Proof of work concept. Do you mean what Ruth was talking about?
Mm.
I'm not sure about that, but maybe I was just thinking about that. Maybe someone is going to like, what if someone's impersonating me and paying the proof of work? How does that work? But I think that probably it's best that everybody makes like the work is proof of work, that what you do, like that is the proof of work. If you make good art that people like, that I don't know how to explain it. I don't understand it. Maybe.
Well, it is a
correctly.
very, very esoteric concept, and I think the reason I was bringing it up really was that Jack Lew seemed to get it and explain it back to everybody in a way that like almost everybody I think who was listening got it. So it was just it was like one of those moments of like it all kind of clicking into place a bit, which is rare, especially with such an esoteric concept. You know Daniel Krawitz? Have you heard of
I know.
Daniel?
Yeah, I
So
know him.
that's his business. So looks like we might see it implemented on Relay X soon by the sound of it.
Cool.
But I just thought it's kind of cool, and it, a lot of people do complain that it would probably be better just to use pay BSV in order to show proof of work or whatever. But I just like that little bit of where it's not being paid to the operator of the platform, so there's no bribery going on.
Yeah, that
You
makes
see
sense.
what I mean? That makes sense. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I think if there's a huge artist on BSV who like everybody knows, that can that person can like prove that this new fellow woman, whatever man, unicorn is real.
That's right. Give them social proof, like upvotes
Yes,
or whatever.
yes.
Yeah.
And like, for example, the more you use your money button like Paymail, the more it like concretifies your like position. Like nobody can impersonate you when you use your like money button Paymail or RelayX Paymail. And if you
That's right.
like do some art and you sign it with that Paymail, I think that's pretty much enough.
Yeah.
For some cases. I think.
Yeah. I mean, that would be how you would. I mean, if it is a forgery or if it is a, just a plagiarized photograph or something, then you also are going to be found out quite easily because it is going to be under either your RelayX handle or your Paymail handle, and everything is going to be traceable, and somebody somewhere is going to know you. So maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm just too honest, and I don't understand how it all works from a scammer's point of view.
Well, when you think about how much is being minted every second or every day on RelayX, I think it's the quantity of traffic that's causing the problem. Like, how do you police that? And if you can make a system that sort of slightly polices itself, then the whole thing will flow more smoothly, and probably the reputation of NFTs will be better.
Yeah, I definitely see the problem that you're talking about. There's so much like people just take something from Google and mint it, and it's like there should be some kind of like policing, but I don't know how it's gonna happen. But
yeah, I mean, with your background in the video production side of things, you know that you can't do that anyway, don't you? You know, it's got to be an original concept, an original piece of artwork. Otherwise, you're going to get sued left, right, centre.
Yeah. And
sadly,
with BSV,
not everyone's so honest.
Yeah. And unless you've got permission to use somebody's image, then you just don't do it. You know?
Yeah. I think most of the scammers that are doing that in RelayX at the moment just don't understand the technology that they can be tracked down and the money can be confiscated.
Yeah.
In some cases.
This is one of the things about law, isn't it? Not understanding what the law is. I mean, this is when I first came into social media from that kind of, like you with that background. It's like, wow, how can you I don't understand how you can do this, because actually that is like, there is a law about that, or a regulation about that, media law about that. You're not allowed to do this, you can't do that. You're not allowed, if you've got kids, then you need to get parental consent to be able to show the kids on camera. Why aren't people doing that? And it's like, it really messed with my head a bit. It's like, some things, but it took a while.
And also the problem is people, most of the people, like the newbies and the normies, don't have a clue what copyrights even are. Like,
yeah,
that's a problem too.
yeah.
Yes, I just started bit posting, and I was thinking, because last time we spoke with KP Dad, we talked a lot about the law, and Casey shared with us a lot of the information about the maritime law, and then we learned about common law, and then I was thinking about the history of IPR, which I did find one day randomly on a YouTube search. This was years and years ago, about the origin of IPR. And it goes back to the Druids, the tradition of the Druids in Ireland. And it was to Colum's calf. It was to each calf, or to each cow its calf. And that is what emerged into the British law, where you all have your law, which is spoken. It's all a verbal, sort of living law. Whereas in America, we have the Constitution, like the white paper. It's the power of the pen. It's in writing. So I think that I'm going to do shorts on law for a Bitpost topic now, just to share that with stories, stories that I've heard, and hopefully it can be helpful. I don't know, but I think it would just be fun to do. So, Cranker, do you have a background in blogging, or have you used Bitpost at all yet?
I know Bitpost, but I haven't been doing Bitpost, and I haven't been doing blogging at all.
If you're making a fairground in 3D, you haven't got a lot of spare time by the sound of it.
I don't. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. No, that's a big ask.
Have you heard of Cedar Point in Ohio?
I think I have heard the name, but I don't know what is it.
It's the best amusement park ever in the world.
Oh,
with the biggest roller coasters, and I recommend you watch some of their videos.
I've never even heard of it, Rory.
Yes, Cedar Point.
I remember Six Flags in Georgia. Is that still there, Rory?
It is still there, and I'll tell you what, the ninja ride, it just goes like this. So forget about it. I mean, it's painful. And there's another one at Six Flags called the Looping Starship, which is just making you feel ill. But Cedar Point up in Sandusky, Ohio, it's legit. Right up there with, I don't know the one in Toronto, but it's definitely better than that one too.
Well, look, have we asked all of our questions, guys? Because we should probably wrap it up.
Is there anything you want to say, Cranker? Anything that you?
Well, I just want to tell you that I'm really happy that you have established this Women of BSV, and you're doing awesome work and bringing people together, and very interesting conversations you've had this far, and just keep up the good work.
Great.
And if you,
I have one last question.
Okay.
Ville, when are you coming to Lapland?
Maybe in spring. My cousin has a cabin there, so he owes me 1 week. Yeah, definitely.
So I wanted to say, Korppi, could you please introduce Cranker to the audience?
In Finnish.
In Finnish?
Well, no, in English too. Just how would you introduce Cranker to everyone? Or both, bilingual.
Tässä on Ville, yksi mun parhaista frendeistä ever. Ja he's based.
He's definitely based, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
thanks
that's-
so much for joining us, Cranker. Are you going to finish up for us, Rory? You're so good at it, summarizing.
Ruth, thank you. I love the chance to practice, so thank you. Cranker, we are delighted to meet you and know you face to face. We've heard about you for a long time from Korppi, and we're thankful for your encouragement and all of the investment that you've made, investment of time, money, and heart. So thank you.
Thank you very much.